Right, Joe.
Yes.
2 fights.
Three Stooges.
2 fights and 2 coaches, and we said it to Eddie Hearn before. I mean, how old do you feel now when you've got 2 coaches now? That it seemed like yesterday that these 2 were packing out the arena.
Still feel 35, 40 odd. It's great. What makes me feel old is seeing Campbell Hatton walking around this place at the moment. That's what you think when you look back at the years and you see Ricky, and obviously we're there, and you're seeing Campbell as a young kid in the gym and being thrown around. And here he is as a professional now. That's what's making you feel old. But like you say, we're here at the arena, and another fight week in Manchester, and it's great. It wouldn't be a fight week in Manchester without having a Gallagher's gym fighter on the show. For the last 10 years, I'd say, with these fellas sat either side of me, we sort of like ran the Manchester arena when they fought on shows together, and then when they were big enough to break away on their own. Crolla had great nights, Scott Quigg had great nights, and it holds fond memories for me. We've had Anthony was crowned world champion there, Scott Quigg defended his world title a number of times, Liam Smith won a world title there. There's a good hunting ground for us, so it's good to be back in, and like you say, to have Scott and Anthony now. I think it'd be weird for them on Saturday, the fact that they're used to going into that arena packed, singing their name, and all you hear there Saturday night is most probably someone saying, "Got no fans." Got no fans. It's just got to be a really eerie experience, that watching Natasha Jonas and Marcus Morrison in huge career-defining fights, but not the roar of the Manchester crowd.
It was only last year you were there, obviously. It's going to be especially weird for you, I suppose. Anthony's had a bit more time to adjust, but it seems like that really does seem, like when you think back to that fight with you and John O'Carroll.
Yeah, that was the last big show really before all this started. So it's going to be strange going back there and that. But so I'm looking forward to going, being there back in the arena and that. So it's going to be good.
And coaching life suiting you?
Joe, I didn't know whether I was going to take it because I thought I couldn't just train anyway, because obviously the way I was, the way how dedicated I were, I'd have to have the fighters that are the same. But I've been lucky with the couple of fighters that I'm training, and so I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it being back in with Joe, learning from Joe this side of things. So, so I'm enjoying it.
Just saw Anthony on the Versa climber before, and again the way you 2 used to train. I mean, when you hear he's gone on there, you're going to have to go and do a bit now on the way back.
Well, I was in the gym at 6 o'clock this morning, so I've already done my bit.
Yeah, I've already.
You're
one up already.
Yeah, I'm already one up.
Right, Joe, talk us through the 2 fights you got. Marcus, obviously, he's got a massive challenge. Chris Eubank Jr. and then KT and Natasha.
Yeah, listen, Marcus, it's a huge fight, huge opportunity for him. He's from the estate in Hattersley, grew up idolising Ricky Hatton. I think this is his 8th, 9th time he's fought at the arena now. He's been on the undercard of Scott Quigg, Anthony Crolla's big nights there, and it's a huge opportunity. Chris Eubank Jr. last defeat was at the arena against George Groves, so I'm looking to grasp at anything really, Dom, to be honest. But the thing with Marcus, it isn't like this is something big that he's not been before. He's been at that arena so many times, so he's got used to it, and he can punch with either hand. Marcus,
there's no pressure though, has he?
No, he's got no pressure. Not only that though, there's been many a kid, British title level, European title level, Commonwealth title level, that he's sparred in that gym and have ended up rolling around on that canvas. Marcus just has to bring it to the ring this night. We know it's a huge ask. We know what he's done against George Groves Eubank, what he did with James DeGale, but he's coming here. He's been out the ring for a while. He's got a new coach in Roy Jones Jr. But one thing with Marcus, what he brings to the fight is power, and he can hit, and he's matured. What's he, 28 now, Marcus? He's matured now. He lost to Wellborn there at the arena. Maybe it was a little bit too soon, but Wellborn then went on and won a British title. And it was man against boy a little bit, but we nearly won that fight early on. But he's learnt from that, and he's come back. He had a great win in Italy. Everyone thought, it's slipping away, and he pulled it out. So he carries power in round 1 as he does in round 10. And if you're sleeping on Marcus Morrison, more feel you. But I do feel Marcus has the potential. If he lands, it's what happens then, because he will land. It's whether he can finish it or can Chris recover from it. But he will have his moment, Marcus Morrison, in this fight.
We're in this bubble. Now, again, I remember asking you about going into this bubble, because there's a few characters in this bubble. And some fun and games that I'm sure we're still going to see. Any fun and games yet, Joe, with yourself? I know you like the odd mind game here and there. And I know you've been speaking to Brian Peters, who, of course, has guided Katie Taylor all through her career. Come on.
No, there isn't, to be fair. I think that's the thing. Everyone expects me to do something. I think when Tasha in the fight guard and me putting the temperature on the security guard, Crolla thought that was just hilarious. Okay. No, I think maybe because I'm in my home comforts, my hometown, and I feel comfortable as I've been. Yeah, I've had a good chat with Brian Peters yesterday. We've had the crack. And listen, I think he's arranged some media duties on Sunday for Katie. I told him he's dropped the bollock there because Kate will be absolutely raging Sunday when she's lost them belts. You know what I mean? I think that'll get cancelled. But joking aside, it's no mind games. We've got the presser coming up today, so in mind games we're just usually confident in what I believe in, and with no gimmicks for Marcus or Natasha Jonas. I do think the underdogs. It suits us, that mentality, and both are very capable of winning.
If you pull this off with those two, that would probably surpass what you did with these two, would it?
Yeah, about
I was going to say,
I mean, they've had the special nights, and particularly Manchester, obviously, whatever. But
it's definitely
it's definitely up there. I think Crolla Gavin Rees was a huge pressure night that night. I think Crolla Barossa was another one. I'm talking as though he's not here, where they were going, oh, poor Anthony. You know what I mean? So it's, it would be up there. Especially, listen, Matt.
And on Martinez was a special night for you, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
of course it was.
I was expected to beat him, but not in that fashion. But
that was the night that Frampton got floored about a few times in New Mexico, I think, or something. I just remember that was a big night.
Yeah.
But for Natasha Jonas, obviously it would be because of all the belts and everything that she's won, should win. For Marcus Morrison, for his career, for him it would be like Callum Smith winning the Muhammad Ali Trophy, and for me as well. Do you know what I mean? They all have goals wanting to achieve, and the big household names who they're fighting, and the well-known in world boxing. So it'll be a huge night for the pair of them. When I get asked questions like that, or which was your best night, and that as coach, I can't, because for each fighter, Jose Burton winning the British title was just as good as Crolla wins. So for that individual and where he's come from to get to that, and his community, they're quite fortunate. But years ago, there never were many traveller British champions, so it gets lost with what Billy Joe and Ty's have done. But that was a huge night for Jose Burton. Do you understand? So it's on the capability and the skill set, what they can do. So different wins mean different things at different times. Anthony Crolla v Andy Morris is right up there with the Barossa, because he was finished if he lost that.
Yeah. Quick fire one. I've done this with Anthony anyway, but next week, Canelo, Billy Joe.
Canelo.
Is it emphatic?
I just think I struggle to pick someone that beat him at this current stage.
Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
Listen, you've got to go in the form book and you look up who Canelo's fought, what levels he's fought, the World Championship fighters he's fought, the champions he's fought. It's like Billy Joe. Listen, it seems an age ago when he beat Lemieux, and whether he can bring that type of performance, which he'll need to. Hasn't looked good at 168. Billy Joe hasn't really performed at 168 in his fights. Points Martin Murray last time out, Canelo, Callum Smith, Kovalev before that. So you've got to go with what the form book suggests, which is Canelo Alvarez. Billy Joe will have moments. He's got good hand speed, good boxing brain, but I just think in front of 75,000 screaming Mexicans, and we've been in that arena with 60 with Liam Smith. You know, I told Eddie Hearn before, you've never ever experienced anything like it, and I don't think we will. And I think it's Canelo sooner or later will catch up with him, and if he doesn't, he's winning on points. They're not going to have a right in that arena.